Hey guys, this is Master Manny guys, and we're going to be going over some of our kickboxing techniques. Now, we're going to go real basic, going back to technique and making sure everything is getting into the right spot and the right position of all our movements, shoulder movements, head movements, hand movements. Everything that we're doing has to be correct, all right? So we're going to start off with our stance. So I tell everybody, we have a kind of a modified kickboxing stance. I tell everybody that what we do is we teach not only kickboxing, but kickboxing for MMA. So I really want that squared stance facing forward, that I'm able to throw my strikes, but I'm also able to project myself forward to be able to do my takedown. So where I want you guys to start is, I'm shoulder width apart here, all right? I really want to be shoulder width apart, kind of at an angle, like a 45-degree angle here. And all I do is turn my feet, and both feet are going to be facing forward. So now one foot is in front of the other, right in front of my shoulder, right behind my shoulder, right? So I want to be right in the middle of this, okay? Now, the only other thing is from where I'm at, I don't want my heels touching the mat. I want to be on my toes. I always try to be on my toes. The moment my heels hit the mat, they hit you. They might not hurt you, but they will knock you on your bum. So make sure you're always on your toes, and I'm leaning forward. I'm keeping my knees slightly bent, and I'm facing forward, all right? So now, once I get my knees, once I get my feet, once I get my hips and my shoulders squared, now I have to put my hands up. I try to keep my elbows really tight to my body, and I bring my hands up. That usually always keeps them somewhere in front of my face, all right? Unless you have like tiny arms, but most of the time you're going to get into this spot here. This is really what I want to do. I want to cover my body, and I want to cover my head as much as I can and keep everything in control. I do not want to put them in front of my face. I still see a lot of beginners getting in here and they're covering their face and they're hiding their eyes. You can't hide. You have to be able to see past your hands. So I tuck my elbows in, roll my elbows up, my hands are in, and this is where I want to be. Now notice, I can teach this without the gloves, but I really want you guys to be wearing gloves while you're practicing all this. It really gets you stronger in your shoulders and your biceps, and all your arms are going to get stronger just by you carrying the gloves, all right? So you notice during class, you guys are throwing punches and you get tired, and the first thing that happens, you put your hands down. You have to practice trying to keep your hands up, all right? So let's try this again. Let's go through the whole motion of getting into our fighting stance. So from here, I am shoulder width apart. I'm in a really relaxed stance. I'm not open. I'm not closed, all right? I'm in a really relaxed stance, shoulder width apart. What I want to do is I want to be kind of at a 45-degree angle off to the side, and watch what I do. I pivot my feet to be facing forward, all right? So I'm still facing forward. One foot's in front, one foot's in the back. I'm on my toes, and I slightly bend my knees, all right? So now I'm ready. I'm like a little spring. I compress the spring and then let it go to either do a takedown or throw a kick or throw a knee. Whatever I need to do, I'm in that little stance there. Now watch my arms. My arms, elbows in, rotate my hands up. One hand is in front of the other. That's okay. One hand's closer to your face. The other one's a little bit closer forward. That's fine, all right? Keep your hands up, and now I'm in my really good fighting stance, and I'm ready to move. I'm either ready to move forward, I'm ready to throw a technique, I'm ready to strike, but I'm in a really good fighting stance, all right? Let's try this out from sideways so you guys can see my feet. It's really important that you guys see the feet. From here, I turn 45 degrees, turn my feet are facing forward, all right? Now from here, I'm on my toes, I bend my knees, and now elbows in, hands up, and now I'm in my position, and I'm ready to move. I'm either pushing forward to punch, all right? Retreating, we can throw our punches, throw our techniques, whatever technique we need to do, but everything's happening from our fighting stance. So hopefully, from here, you guys are gonna move on to the next step, is actually moving and then gaining power, okay? Guys, our next skill is learning how to move, all right? So we already got into our fighting stance. We got into a strong fighting stance, tough fighting stance, but now we're gonna have to start moving. So one of the most important things is wherever we're at, I'm not standing still. I tell everybody this, it's like trying to hit something, trying to hit a moving target. I'm never standing still, I'm never in the same spot. So I am never, ever, ever just standing in the same spot and waiting to get hit or waiting to throw a technique. I'm always in my march. I'm always pushing 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Always moving, and then whenever I'm ready, I'm gonna explode onto a technique, all right? Now, when I step, I'm actually trying to catch up to my partner or my opponent. Now I'm gonna start taking a step. Now it's really important, I divide myself in half. And I always think about it like this, divide myself forward and divide myself side to side. If I'm going to my left side, the worst thing that I can do is move my right leg. If I move my right leg and I cross my feet, I'm off balance. So it doesn't matter. They don't even have to hit you hard. They're just going to hit you and you're going to land and you're going to be on the floor, and it's a really bad spot. So every time I'm in my fighting stance, all right, I'm in my position, if I'm going to take a step to my left side, my left foot has to move forward. So I'm always taking that left foot forward. If I'm going to my right side, I'm moving to my right. My right foot's going to move forward, and then I'm going to drag the second foot, all right? So watch my left side. Take a step, then drag, and I get back to my fighting stance. Notice where I'm at. I'm back to my fighting stance where I'm ready to be. If I'm going to my right, I take my step, and I drag, and I get myself right where I need to be. It doesn't matter where we're going, as long as I know that I need to lead with one leg and follow with the other one. If I'm moving forward or backwards, it's the exact same thing. I can take a step forward, but my front foot has to go first, and the back leg drags, and I get to myself into my fighting stance. If I'm going backwards, my back leg is going to take a step, my front leg drags. So the worst thing that I can do is try to bring my feet together across my feet. Even if it's front and back, sometimes I'm in an awkward position. So I need to take my step and always follow with the other one. If I'm stepping forward, take my step and drag the other one, and I keep my fighting stance, and we're going all the way through. Now, a couple of drills that you can do. You guys can make squares, all right, in opposing directions. So watch what I'm saying. This is where I'm at. This is my beginning. I'm going to take my right step. I'm going to take my front step. I'm going to take my left step. I'm going to take my back step, all right? And then I can just continue this all the way through. If I want to rotate directions and follow and making sure that I'm going in the right direction, in the right spot. Forward, backwards, side to side, and making sure I'm doing this. Later on, we'll start getting into our circles, but our circling around the other opponent is really important too, all right? Ready? That's it for today, guys.